Just had to wake up. Good morning. There's a bunch of cars here parked. Getting yelled at all morning. I use the net toothbrush. Can you appreciate the size of this? Oh guys, this is so amazing. We have to leave soon because we booked the tour for the Winchester house. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I bet you guys thought that this video was gonna start with some footage of the actual Winchester house. Well, I have to confess that they didn't allow me to record in the house. The tour people made it very clear that they didn't want any recordings like of the tour or of all that stuff, and I understand because, you know, they got to make their coin and all that stuff. So I was respectful and I didn't record. Kind of. I recorded a little bit. I just did, you know, just a little bit, and not too much, you know, not too much. Just, you know, just a little taste. Just a little taste to get a couple of scenes at least of like what the house really looked like. But I thought that before we get started with the video, I talk a little bit about the house as I show you footage of it, and then after that we'll get back to the regular programming, which is my trip that we took. I have some notes here. Very professional of me. I'm gonna wing it. Okay, I'm not gonna get too in detail about the house because I could sit here talk about it all freaking day. If you want to see that video, make sure to leave me a comment below and I'll make a whole video explaining all the stuff that I learned and the stuff that I saw. But I'm gonna briefly go over what the house is basically. This house is labeled as the Winchester Mystery House, and it's truly a mystery. Here, we made it.
We made it. I saw it from far away. We hadn't even pulled in and I saw it. It was so big.
We're finally here. After years of saying we're gonna finally see it. The Winchester house is 24,000 square feet. It has 10,000 windows, 2,000 doors, 160 rooms, 52 skylights, 47 stairways and fireplaces, 17 chimneys, 13 bathrooms, 6 kitchens, and 3 elevators. You guys, this place is huge. It's humongous. Like, and there's like people wearing construction hats up there. Are they? Oh, they're part of the tour. Why did they make you wear construction hats? That's interesting. That's crazy. So the spirits can come to you or what? Yeah, they were wearing construction hats over there. Anyways, this mansion is humongous, guys. Like, it's crazy. Waiting for the tour, like
Waiting to be called.
like we're wearing matching hats. We didn't plan this. This just happened.
But whatever. Teddy Fresh to death. You guys, we're like walking around and we looked up and the people that were like already in the tour, they were wearing like construction hats. I'm curious as to why.
I want one.
Are they putting up more windows?
Are they gonna give me one? Because I want it.
A Winchester construction hat?
We're doing 2 tours, guys. 2 of them.
Yeah.
2.
Back to back.
We're gonna be walking a lot, and I don't mind it. Even though we just got back. A lot of people will be scared.
A lot of people will be scared here. A lot of people will be scared, and I'll name them.
Okay, we gotta go. Oopsie, I can't believe I did that, but here we are. I am gonna voice over it as we show the clips. The legend goes that after her husband's death, Sarah was devastated and went to a medium. And the medium told her that the spirits from all the deaths caused by the rifle that her husband's company created were mad and that she was cursed and needed to go to California and build them a house and never stop building or else she would die. That's a bit much, I think. I'm very skeptical coming in visiting the house But that's the whole point of me visiting that house. I was so amazed by the fact that ever since she moved in there, she never stopped building. She had guys working there all the time, building non-stop. At some point, this house was 7 stories high. Are you kidding me? And mind you, she was way ahead of her time. She had probably elevators before other people had elevators in their home. Anyways, many of the stairways feature a short, easy riser, which is very true. I recorded some of that. They're short steps, very weird to walk on, but after talking to the tour guide, after them explaining that she had arthritis, she had those built in so that she didn't have to lift her legs so high, so that it would be less of a struggle for her to get around. A lot of the house was accommodated to her and her arthritis and her pains and all this stuff. So it started all making sense as we were like processing through the house. It was just like, started off as a legend and we ended up admiring the crap out of this woman. It just seems, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This seems a case of all these bitter Nancys that lived a couple blocks that started making up rumors about this woman because she was such a badass, okay? She was such a badass. Everything that she had in her house had a purpose. Nothing was there by mistake. I swear. If there's something I learned during that tour was how freaking brilliant that woman was. Crazy. It's just crazy. She's like fixated with the number 13, and I don't know what that means. And they have like a seance room where she's said to go in and like talk to spirits. First of all, there's no freaking proof, okay? None of her workers ever talked about what she did or didn't do. She never addressed any rumors because she was that badass. She was like, F y'all. Like, I don't need to answer your guys' crap. I'm building my house and that's that. Like, you assume whatever you want. She never even called it the Winchester Mystery House or the Winchester House. That was never even the name. It was called something else. Hi, baby. Hi. You wanna say hi to my video?
Hi.
She just got home from school, guys. Hope I'm saying this right. Is it Llanada Villa or La Nada Villa? And I'm being too Mexican and I'm just saying the double L's like Llanada. Babe, if the house has 2 L's, do you think La Nada Villa or is Llanada Villa?
In English is villa.
Well, I know, but Llanada or La Nada?
Say it in Spanish, you're Mexican.
Yeah. Pero con doble L es ya, ¿verdad? Like this?
Yeah.
What does that say?
Llanada Villa.
I don't know how to pronounce it. We hope that it's Llanada Villa, but that's the original name of the house.
But in English is Llanada Villa.
Llanada Villa? Llanada Villa? I don't know. I'm too Mexican for this shit. I keep going back to Llanada. Anyways, that's the original name of the house. But they call it the Winchester Mystery House because apparently Houdini, the magician, went in there one day and was like, this house is a mystery. And everybody was like, whoa, the Winchester Mystery House, and started naming it after that. So literally that's the only reason why they changed it. And that's bullcrap because she had already named it. Like, she had a, like, I really do think she did everything on purpose and everything had a purpose. Like, it's insane how well put together this house is and how double purposed she made everything feel. Even the stuff, the actual like crumbles of when they had that earthquake, she ended up picking up the pieces and repurposing them in another part of the house. Windows on the floor, which make total sense once they explain to you, oh, it's because they want the skylight to show. And then you're like, oh, that's a valid reason to put a window on the floor, right? It's just that people make it sound so crazy, and I guess there is some fun in like folklore and legends and stuff. I just think she's a badass bitch. I think she's a bad bitch who had a lot of money. She paid all her workers triple the wage. Imagine, what is the minimum right now, baby? 13? Okay, so here in San Diego, it's 13 minimum wage. I believe it is 13. And imagine somebody paying you triple 13 to work on their house or be a servant, and they fed you 3 times a day, gave you a place to sleep, sometimes even built you a house nearby so you didn't have to travel too far. Like, this woman was generous. Like, she was amazing. Her gardener was a Japanese man who took care of all her gardens. She had his family live there with him. It was so beautiful to see like how many foreigners and immigrants worked for her and how loyal her workers were. I mean, girl, if somebody was paying me triple the minimum wage, I'd be like, yeah, I'm loyal. That makes total sense. Why they never spoke up. Even after her death, her employees never ever addressed anything about her or even said anything bad about her or whatever. They were really, really loyal. And then the craftsmanship of her home, you can tell that her workers were very, very talented. And the fact that it withstood 2 earthquakes, a major one. It was in 1906, the San Francisco huge earthquake that happened. That was the magnitude of 7.9. That house is in San Jose, which is not far off from San Francisco, and it had 7 stories at the time. It only has 4 now, but you can still see the house and the destruction that earthquake had on that house. They ended up closing down the whole front side of the house. She didn't want anybody in there, so she ended up closing that whole side off and started building elsewhere. Even though I want to say she was a badass and all this stuff, I don't necessarily believe in the legend that she was just like bonkers and she was just building to keep spirits away and all this stuff. Like, I really don't believe that version of it. I don't know why she was constantly building, and I don't know why everything is so mysterious. Why is there stairways leading to nowhere? Why is there doors that lead to a 10-foot drop? Why is there, I don't know. I just don't know. And I think that's the beauty of it. You really don't know anything about that house, or you can't explain it why the number 13 is such a big number around the house. But it's amazing to just see it. And I recommend 110% that you go and see it for yourself and take the tours. Take the tours and learn about Sarah, because I think that will open your mind a little bit and think like, oh, maybe it's not about ghosts and it's not about all this stuff. It's about the woman behind the house. So alright guys, so we just got out of the tour. It was freaking amazing. I wasn't allowed to film, so I basically like randomly got clips of stuff, so I couldn't really narrate to you what it was. Look at it. Look at our dumbass. we hella just bought the pictures because we're like memories, you know, but they're horrible. Like, we look bad in them, but it's whatever. Like, who cares? But anyways, we learned a lot.
It makes sense why they did this, right? Because if you're taking a picture, you can't get the whole house.
Right. Yeah, this house is amazing. I learned a lot about the history about this house. We took 2 freaking tours back to back. Like, our legs and our back hurt because we were walking.
We're walking for 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours, yeah.
Because
but like we were at the Redwood hiking, so we've been walking all day. But the tour itself was really, really good. Like, I recommend it 100% to do them this way, like do the back-to-back thing, because you learn some things in your first tour, which is just the house tour. You go like in between rooms and you learn about the rooms, but then the other tour you go like the behind the scenes stuff, and like you really get to see and learn a little more facts than the original tour, and it's crazy. Oh yeah, and the ghost stories, they had a couple of them there, which, by the way, I am a strong believer in ghosts, and I want to see hopefully one day or whatever. But I didn't feel nothing.
Well, you're not always gonna feel something, but
that's true.
But I feel like whatever, if it is haunted, I feel like whatever it is in there is the good spirits. I don't think it's like,
it's so like,
why would it be horrible spirits when like she was such a good person according to like the stories?
From what we learned, she was a great person, and not just that, but very smart and like very intuitive and very, very brilliant. Like, we were like, oh shit, everything has a purpose. And then the house started making sense in a weird way, and then you're just not questioning its mystery anymore. You're kind of like, oh yeah, I get it. You know, like, why would you do that? But it just seems like there was a really badass lady who wanted to live her house the way that she wanted it, and that's badass.
Spend her money.
Yeah, she's like, I don't need no freaking construction worker to tell me I can't do that.
Yeah.
She had a really good like system there, so I was like impressed. I was very impressed. So if you guys want to learn about the tour, maybe you guys should take it. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you facts because I probably don't even remember them. But you guys, I definitely recommend this tour. And me and Annette has been trying to do this for so long, and we finally did it. We can take that out the bucket list.
That you know how we went to the Whaley house, and like the Whaley house is covered in plastic.
Yeah, or in like some sort of like.
You can't go in the rooms.
Right.
Because in the Whaley house, sometimes the glare.
The Whaley house is in San Diego, by the way. Yeah. It's supposed to be the most haunted house in America.
Sometimes the glare of the plastic on the doorways doesn't let you see like a lot of detail. And here, they let you walk around in the rooms.
Yeah, just you can't touch anything. But like they trust you enough to like walk around and look at it. And I appreciate that because then we can get a better sense of the room or how the details and the artwork
you can get close to everything.
Honestly, that house is so good. Like there was a wallpaper that I stared at for like 5 minutes just because of how beautiful it was, and it was like already damaged and like messed up, and then they had like one that was like kind of preserved in one area, and every time I looked at it I was like, I can't believe that was real. Imagine a whole room full of that wallpaper. Like it's just insane. Damn,
it was worth the drive.
Yeah, it was worth it.
I loved it because it was a lot of storytelling and just stuff that I didn't know. So.
Right. So yeah, so now we're just on our way to go get food and then probably head down to Santa Cruz. So okay, so before I go, I do want to share a little clip of a ghost story that one of the instructors shared with us. Because even though I'm saying all this stuff, wonderful stuff about Sarah, and I do believe that she was an amazing person, I still think that this place is probably haunted. One, because there was tons of workers there, and they all lived there and spent most of their lives there. So, I mean, that a lot of traffic, a lot of workers working there, and including herself. Like maybe she still resides in the house. So that's pretty cool. I think I find it more interesting than scary. I think it's like really cool. I don't know. I enjoy this kinds of stuff. If you don't really like paranormal stuff, then and if you don't believe in it, well, just keep it up in mind. This is somebody's story about how they possibly saw someone that resembled Sarah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and then we'll go on with the rest of our trip.
It's my coworker Matt's story, but it doesn't relate to mine, so I like telling it. Okay, so this happened to him 2 years ago. What he told me was that he was sitting right here wiping down the hard hats after the day, because this is where we used to keep them. So it was 6:30. There shouldn't be any guests inside the house, just maybe 1 or 2 employees and a manager closing up the night. So as he was wiping down the hard hats, all he has is a flashlight in his mouth so you can see what he was actually doing, because he shut off all the lights at that point. As he was wiping down the hard hats, he looks up into the Daisy bedroom, and what he saw was a pair of women's legs, so just her waist going down. He described her as being kind of skinny. She looked like a petite person wearing a black dress as well as like old-timey shoes. You know, like fits the description of Sarah. At first, he didn't think too much of it because since it was dark, he thought he was just imagining things because your kind of vision messes with you at the night during nighttime. So he went back to doing his work, and then he looks back up a couple minutes later, and what he noticed was that the figure looked like she was either pacing or dancing around a circle, like her dress looked like it was flaring out. And so he was like, no, there's definitely someone there. So he grabs his flashlight, runs into the room, shines it in there, and then he doesn't see anyone. So I've never seen the figure before. Apparently she's commonly seen in the Daisy bedroom, the grand ballroom, and in Sarah's main bedroom. But the reason why this correlates to my story was because 1.5 years ago when I started doing this tour, I had a 10-year-old girl on my tour. We were in the Witch's Cap, on the 3rd floor. We had already left the room, but she kept looking back into it from the hallway, so I just asked her, what are you looking at? She asked me if it was normal to see a lady in a black dress dancing in the middle of the Witch's Cap. So I looked inside the same time that she was, and there was no one there, so I had no idea what she was talking about. So I asked her, can you describe to me what the woman looked like? She said the woman looked like she was kind of short and skinny, she was wearing a black dress, and she was wearing like old-timey heels. And so I just thought it was kind of odd because it matched the description of what Matt told me and what he saw that night, so I just thought it was kind of odd. We'll go into the Witch's Cap later on.